So I guess my question is this. Was President Donald Trump wrong to give blanket clemency to the January 6 defendants?
Thank you, Ranking Member. A couple of things on that. One, the power of the presidential pardon is just that, the president.
My question to you, though, is do you think America is safer because President Trump issued these pardons to 1,600 of these criminal defendants, many of whom violently assaulted our police in the Capitol?
Senator, America will be safe when we don't have 200,000 drug overdoses in 2 years. America will be safe when we don't have 50 homicides in a day.
So you just won't answer the question.
I'm
going to say I don't think we're safer. Matthew Huddle was sent back to Indiana.
Today we're diving into a tense showdown that unfolded in the Senate chamber, one that's igniting serious debate across the country. Kash Patel, President Trump's former advisor and nominee for FBI director, found himself face-to-face with Senator Dick Durbin, who wasted no time grilling him over Trump's controversial pardons of January 6th defendants. The exchange wasn't just about policy, it was about principle, justice, and public safety. Durbin pressed Patel relentlessly, questioning whether America is safer now that over 1,600 individuals, many of whom were involved in the Capitol riots, have received clemency. Patel, ever composed, defended the president's constitutional authority to issue pardons, emphasizing the broader issues threatening American safety. But Durbin wasn't letting go. The tension mounted as the two clashed over what justice really means in a divided nation. This wasn't your typical hearing. It was sharp, ideological, and revealing. One side framed the pardons as reckless and dangerous, the other as necessary and lawful. The moment captured just how divided this country is, not just politically, but morally. Let's get into it.
So I guess my question is this. Was President Donald Trump wrong to give blanket clemency to the January 6 defendants?
Thank you, Ranking Member. A couple of things on that. One, the power of the presidential pardon is just that, the president.
Well, I concede he has the authority. I'm asking, was he wrong to do it?
And as we discussed in our private meeting, Senator, I have always rejected any violence against law enforcement, and I have, including in that group, specifically addressed any violence against law enforcement on January 6th, and I do not agree with the commutation of any sentence of any individual who committed violence against law enforcement.
So do you think that America is safer because these 1,600 people have been given an opportunity to come out of serving their sentences and live in our communities again?
Senator, I have not looked at all 1,600 individual cases. I have always advocated for imprisoning those that cause harm to our law enforcement and civilian communities. I also believe America is not safer because President Biden's commutation of a man who murdered 2 FBI agents, Agent Kohler's and Williams' family, deserve better than to have the man that point blank range fired a shotgun into their heads and murdered them released from prison. So it goes both ways.
Leonard Pelletier was in prison for 45 years. He's 80 years old, and he was sentenced to home confinement. So he's not free, as you might have just suggested.
He killed 2 FBI agents.
That's true, he did, and he went to prison for it and should have. My question to you, though, is do you think America is safer because President Trump issued these pardons to 1,600 of these criminal defendants, many of whom violently assaulted our police in the Capitol?
Senator, America will be safe when we don't have 200,000 drug overdoses in 2 years. America will be safe when we don't have 50 homicides in a day.
So you just won't answer the question.
I'm going to say
I don't think we're safer. Matthew Huddle was sent back to Indiana. I don't think we're safer with Peter Schwartz. I could go through a long list of individuals, some of who were wanted in states, members of this committee. Let me move to another topic if I can. Tell me about your J6 choir. What is that?
Well, it's not my choir. It's simply a recording that was utilized to raise funds for families in need of nonviolent offenders.
Who sings on this recording?
I don't know, Senator.
What did you have to do with it?
Simply to raise funds to assist families of nonviolent offenders whose kids needed college education payments and whose rent needed being paid.
My understanding is that the performers on this J6 choir were the rioters who are in prison.
I'm not aware of that, sir. I didn't have anything to do with the recording.
You weren't aware of who made the recording?
No, Senator.
That's interesting. Did you receive any money for selling copies of that music or that recording?
Absolutely not.
Okay. You do have a foundation, though, do you not?
I'm very proud of the Cash Foundation and the $1.3 million we've given to families in need across this country, including active duty service members, police officers, putting kids in college, and helping people in disaster relief areas rebuild their homes and their communities.
This exchange highlights something much deeper than just a debate over Trump's pardons. It exposes the fault lines of America's justice system and how differently the same event can be viewed through opposing political lenses. On one side, the pardons are seen as acts of compassion and constitutional authority, tools to correct what some view as political persecution. On the other, they're framed as reckless endorsements of violence and lawlessness, undermining law enforcement and national stability. The clash between Kash Patel and Senator Dick Durbin was more than a disagreement. It was a reflection of two Americas, one that believes the justice system has been weaponized, and another that sees attempts to dismantle accountability. Patel stood firm, refusing to concede to Durbin's narrative, while Durbin pushed hard, painting a picture of chaos unleashed by unaccountable clemency. But the bigger question remains, what precedent does this set? When a president grants mass pardons to those accused of political violence, is it an act of justice, or a signal that political loyalty can override the rule of law? That's a question only the American people can answer. So what do you think? Was Trump right to issue these pardons, or did it cross the line into dangerous territory? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget, if you found this breakdown valuable, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got more unfiltered political analysis coming your way. I'll see you in the next one.